Chapter 6092. Speaking, Pollard added, "Of course, it is still too early to talk about these. After all, new energy vehicles are not yet mainstream. But precisely because they have not become mainstream yet, there are opportunities for entrepreneurs. Once they are squeezed out, fuel vehicles have become the mainstream. Which means that the Dragon Slayer will eventually become the evil dragon. Many people have begun to study the next new track. And family comes in now. Although they have not taken the lead, it is still not too late." Charlie asked again, "There are too many domestic new energy brands now. Do you think there are still opportunities for vehicle manufacturing?" "Of course there are." Pollard said seriously, "There are indeed many new energy brands now. And many of them are struggling on the line of life and death. There are many people who died, but the automobile market is so big, and new energy only accounts for a small part of it. This proves that the future of new energy is still promising. And now it is entering the manufacturing of new energy vehicles. If competitors aim regarding other new energy brands, the pattern is indeed a bit small. The pattern should be enlarged to compete with those traditional fuel vehicle manufacturers. If the global sales of Toyota, Honda, and South Korea's Hyundai can be cut in half, then that will be the real Big Mac." As he spoke, Pollard thought of something and said, "Charlie, actually you can also study this field. You are not short of money or resources, and you have the shipping channel too. If you make cars, there will be a lot of room for development in the industry. And this industry is very fulfilling. If one day the streets are full of cars made by you, you will feel very proud." Charlie smiled and said, "I'll tell you the truth. Speaking of it, Uncle, I don't have a high degree of education. And I don't know much about cars. If you really asked me to do this, I'd be completely blind." After saying that, Charlie added, "But I very much agree with your point of view. The new energy market is a trend, and its proportion will definitely be higher and higher in the future. If you are interested, I can introduce you to my uncle. If you want to give it a try, I can also be an investor." Pollard waved his hands quickly and laughed at himself. "I'm just an old scholar who studies finance. Let me say, I can talk about it all day and all night. But let me put it into practice, I guess I'm not as good as you." Charlie shook his head and said, "Sometimes, what is needed to be in an industry is not necessarily professional skills, but strategic vision. No matter how strong the technology is, choosing the wrong direction will only lead to a dead end. If a family wants to make complete vehicles, must let them learn from you. It would be even better if you could join." Pollard said with a smile, "It's okay to join. But I have done quite detailed research on the domestic new energy market after returning to China. If they are interested, I can do it on a voluntary basis. I'm a consultant. Let me talk to them about some of my ideas. Maybe it can be of some help to them." Charlie hurriedly said, "That's great. Let's do this. After you and Aunt Han finish the wedding, I will find an opportunity to arrange it. Let's meet together and have a good chat." "No problem." Pollard agreed readily and then said, "Charlie, I will go to the university for the elderly to pick up your aunt first. And we will find time to talk later." "Okay." Charlie nodded, and after watching Pollard leave, he couldn't help but have the idea of poaching Pollard away from the university. When he started the shipping, he wanted to recruit him to be the person in charge. But he seemed to have no interest in shipping at that time and was focused on school. But after chatting with him today, Charlie discovered that he is very passionate about new energy vehicles. If real money is used to set up a stage in the new energy field, and then he is invited to participate, he most likely won't refuse. After making up his mind, Charlie decided to seize the time to ask his uncles to come over and meet Pollard after his wedding. At this moment, he suddenly received a call from Jacob. He pressed the answer button and said, "Dad, are you okay?" Jacob's voice was hoarse and decadent and said, "Where are you, my dear son-in-law?" Charlie said, "I'm having a cup of coffee with a friend outside to talk about something." Do you have something to do with me? Jacob said, Good son-in-law, if it's convenient for you. Come to the university for the elderly to pick me up. I'm really not feeling good and want to find someone to talk to.